Hey guys, Rambo here with another Dead Ops Arcade 3 video, where I'll be going over the changes made to the game throughout the month of March. Some of the changes discussed in this video can be found on Treyarch's official patch notes. However, there are also a great deal of changes made that I'll highlight which are not listed on any of the patch notes. It is possible that I omit or am incorrect about a couple of things as well, but this video should be fairly comprehensive and accurate. Anyways, timestamps will be in the description below if you want to skip around. Let's get right into it. The March 2nd update addressed an issue introduced from the previous update, where upon taking a death, the player's score multiplier UI would sometimes glitch out and not progress for a few minutes. Made some adjustments to the solo advanced start mode, including the addition of the arcade machine as a potential item for the rounds, for those who started past the wild. Another change made to solo advanced start is that you're now able to play without a fate if you don't pick any of the fate stones in the allotted time window, rather than being awarded a random fate when you don't choose any of the stones. Also a couple other updates which might have occurred a few days prior, maybe late February, but I didn't get to mention them in my previous update video, so I guess I'll mention them here. You're now able to flip your camera in both the Abandoned Temple and Dark Crypt bonus areas. And finally, on co-op, when one player enters the Skeleton King boss fight area on the round 60 wild, all other players in the match will be instantly teleported to that area to fight the Skeleton King. That's it for early March, and then a few weeks later, there was a Season 2 Reloaded update for Cold War, which brought upon quite a few changes for the UA3. First, we'll start with the official changes which were listed on Treyarch's site. Players now earn both XP and Battle Pass progression in old DUA modes. The values will be tuned in the future to be more beneficial to the player, so I don't want to get into the specific values right now, but you essentially earn XP for completing rounds and completing certain tasks in the wild. A brand new Silverback Slideways bonus area was added to the rotation of possible levels you could get when obtaining an arcade machine. This new level is a bit different than the other 3 areas, as you have a total of 4 minutes to complete it, rather than just 2 minutes. It's worth noting that this level contains 1 key, and a couple of lives, nukes, and boosts as well. Increased the spawn rate of keys in the wild, and also added 2 new locations where keys can potentially spawn in. One new location is towards the beginning of the wild, just after you pass the first set of ground spikes. Just keep going north a bit, and then you'll see a hidden passageway in the bushes to your right. The second new location is by the Kaboom Room. It'll be near the chickens and gems located above you. If you want to know how to obtain that key, in the top-down version of DUA, grab a first-person item near Gemtown, hop on the spring pad over here, use a speed boost towards the key, and then exit first-person mode while you're hovering over that area. If you're playing the first-person mode version, you obviously won't be able to exit out of that perspective, but you can still obtain the key by boosting towards it, though it might take a while to master the timing of it correctly. Life donation rewards were tuned for co-op. The frequency of boxing gloves as a life donation reward was decreased, along with the frequency of armory being decreased as well. For example, it's now possible to get just 1 speed boost or just 1 nuke as part of a life donation reward, rather than being guaranteed at least 2 of an item when being given armory. While in the top-down view in the wild, you now die in 2 hits from zombies, rather than 3 hits. Addressed the bug from a previous update where electric orbs in arcade machines were not awarding the player any kills or points. Additionally, this update addressed similar issues with the barrels and boxing gloves, where those items were only awarding points for some of the kills you got, rather than all of them. Addressed an issue where a friendly spinning chicken could potentially kill the player with blades from the crossbow weapon. Addressed an issue where players were sometimes unable to leave a deadly dungeon when using an exit ladder. Addressed an issue on co-op where some players could be left behind whenever a teammate entered a deadly dungeon. Addressed an issue where the flogger trap could kill the player while it was inactive. And this time, I think the fix is for reals. Addressed an issue where Nova Crawlers could be invisible. Addressed an issue where spiders could launch a player out of the mech vehicle if it's closely located. Addressed an issue where zombie bodies could totally disappear after being killed while playing on reduced graphic content. Addressed an issue where some particle effects were not appearing properly on enemies, such as Nova Crawlers lacking the aura around them, or the mama back at the end of rounds not having her red aura either. Address an issue where special particle effects could remain on screen instead of being cleaned up. Address an issue where selecting the flip bumper controller setting would create a conflict when switching from first person mode to classic mode. Added various crash fixes, added various exploit fixes, and finally, reduced explosive damage range of meatballs when they die. There were also quite a few changes made to the game which were not listed in the patch notes. Those changes are as follows. The boss icon for enemies like the Margwa now properly appear in the minimap radar, rather than appearing as a black square for certain users. So if you're looking for a Margwa in a deadly dungeon, look for this symbol. The spinning spike trap near the beginning of the volcano will now kill the player while it is active. Fake poles no longer appear in co-op matches. These poles were essentially harmless to both you and the zombies, but were very much a visual distraction in the later rounds. The fate of Divine Chalice got a bit of a nerf, where it awards the player an extra life every 150,000 points, rather than every 125,000 points. Full damage has been altered in the wild. You now take less damage from certain falls, but now also have the ability to die from full damage as well. New lighting in various bonus areas. Here are some side-by-side examples. Snow removed from one of the rocks on the Winter Cave Arena, or rounds 33 to 36, reverting a patch made in February. The present box now has a chance at awarding a monkey bomb. This might be only when you're in a mech vehicle. While in first person mode, you now die in 3 hits instead of 4 hits. While in first person mode, fireballs, hellhounds, and spectral hounds now deal less damage, only about 1/3 of your health. While in first person mode, the Megaton's melee attack and the Warden's melee attack will now kill you in just 1 hit. While in the first person playlist specifically, the Mama Bag will kill the player in 1 hit. This change does not apply to the first person pickup on the normal DOA mode. Possible bug introduced with this update, where meatballs and spiders no longer die from coming into contact with your invincibility ring. Bug introduced in this update where many special enemies don't die by electric orbs. Additionally, shield items sometimes don't work properly against gladiators either. Bug introduced in this update where gladiator enemies no longer appear after their challenge level on round 69. Anyways, that about wraps up this video. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like. Thanks for watching.